Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between XMG's XLorD versus Mousesports' Hasu here on Daybreak. Now those of you guys who are longtime fans of me may recognize XLorD's name. He is a fairly well-known Warcraft 3 pro who has made his way now into StarCraft 2, recently got picked up in an independent sponsorship from XMG. Now, Mousesports' Hasu spawning here on the top right-hand side as the blue Protoss. Meanwhile, XLorD spawning here as the red Zerg. Now, in a lot of these best out of 3 series, it really looks like, and it really seems like players are really trying to play it safe. Builds that they would, try and experiment with on the ladder, they wouldn't necessarily try in a best of 3 or best of 5 setting. So I am expecting more of a macro game in this particular setup. XLorD either going to go for a spawning pool first or a hatchery first, and then after that just sit gasless for quite some time and try to build up a very, very strong economy. Meanwhile, Hasu looks like he will be going for that forge fast expansion, and he may even go for a Nexus first in this particular matchup, as we see a lot of probes are currently queued. Probe now wandering its way will be able to make its way up the ramp here in just a second. Take a look around, and all this probe really wants to do is figure out if his opponent is going for spawning pool first. Spawning pool first does seem to be the option of choice. Yes, it is, as XLorD has now placed down a spawning pool. I believe that was a 15 or a 16 spawning pool, depending on how you count it. Now, this one particular probe should be making its way down over to the natural expansion. And from here, it is going to try to do a little bit of pylon blocking and probe blocking to stop a hatchery from being placed down. Still coming in from Hasu, it looks like one Nexus will be coming in just a moment, as the drones are now here to pressure this probe. The probe isn't going to be able to do very much. It looks like he's still wandering around here, and it looks like he is going to be building a pylon. Able to build a pylon and now sneak his way inside. Oh, just outside of the range of the claws, and now make its way back down. So nicely done there, as a drone now making its way in again. So this drone may actually be able to get off a couple of quick, easy shots here onto the probe. Is a hatchery? Yes, the hatchery will be placed down. And I'm looking at this. Is this actually a longer distance? No, I guess it's not. I guess that is the correct distance. It just looks longer based upon the size of the hatchery. This distance from here to here versus this distance. Actually, I don't know. That looks perhaps one block a little bit too far. Now, Overlord is making its way over. Probe now going to be slipping down here as well. He is not going to go into that fog of war, into that Zelnaga tower, as he is very, very concerned. Also, another nice move by Hasu is saving this very low hit point probe, putting it very much out of the way here in the vents. It looks as though we are going to be seeing a third hatchery already come in from XLorD, and this is well before that 5-minute mark, so it is going to be 3 bases to 2, as a photon cannon has warped in. I believe Hasu had to warp in another gateway to finish off that wall in just in time, as we are going to see perhaps Zerglings just on patrol here. One queen already ready to tend to this hatchery here. It looks like already a second queen here as well. We could have a third queen here. Is this queen actually going to make a trek over? No, I do not believe so. Just drones now being transferred. So here on Daybreak, we are now seeing a tech by Hasu, and now the ball is in Hasu's court to try and make something happen. Oh, what is this? Does the Overlord actually spot? No, the Overlord does not spot that probe right there. Anyways, it is going to be up to Hasu to now make something happen. XLorD is currently sitting on 3 bases, or will be sitting on 3 bases, and with 3 queens should be able to macro up very, very nicely behind this, constantly getting those injects and getting into that very comfortable 50 to 70 drone count sometime around that 8-minute mark. Let's take a look at, we are seeing at 32 drones, and the way things are going, he can build about 25 drones a minute here, as we are getting a pylon over here at this third base. Zergling now going to go ahead and poke inside here. What is happening? A cancellation on that pylon, and Hasu has just been losing a lot of resources by canceling buildings. Not exactly sure what's going on there whatsoever, as we are seeing a new queen being trained here. I am curious as to why XLorD didn't have a queen ready to go. could have easily transferred one over, and maybe a little bit behind in terms of his overall economy, now currently sitting at 33 drones as we are going into that 7-minute mark. All right, 7-minute mark, 33 drones should be able to get into about 50 drones in the next minute or so. And this is where Zerg really starts to just take off. One Zealot now caught in out of position, now trying to run away. The Zealot trying to chase after a lower hit point. Zergling unable to do so, as now Hasu is being aggressive with establishing his own third base. So knowing that XLorD is running up on this base here and perhaps going to be droning very heavily, he knows that he can actually establish up this base with little to no effort. Zergling now going to try to come in. The Stalker, oh, not doing that stutter step necessarily. And we are going to see additional gateways. And is that a photon cannon? Yes, it is. As the Stalker now trying to get away. Stalker and Sentry are now in position as a photon cannon is off over here. Damage is being dealt. However, the Zerglings may be able to get a surround off on that Stalker, and yes, it is going to happen. No, it is not, as a photon cannon acts as a little bit of a zoning effect. Those Zerglings do not want to get within range of that photon cannon at all. All right, double photon cannons here. And with this, a very, very nice wall. 3 gateways, 2 photon cannons at this third base. Hasu should be able to establish this with little to no effort. Now the question is going to be, will he be able to keep up economically? We can already see 66 drones compared to 49 now, as metabolic boost is being researched. Drones now being transferred down, and XLorD is already at tier 2. Glio reconstitution, metabolic boost, and level 1 missile upgrades coming in. An observer on the high ground able to spot and give sight to those sentries and that Stalker to shoot it down. Hasu currently down by about 16 supply, still training up 3 probes at a time, as XLorD now goes into that 4th base. Zerg players always have to be very careful of that third additional resource. Larva count always matters a lot, as Larva allows Zerg players to replenish their armies rather quickly, just in case there is a bad exchange. We can see XLorD currently sitting at 93 over 86 supply, Hasu sitting at 82 over 94. And it is 3 bases to 3 right now, and this is going to be a little bit of a precarious situation for XLorD. XLorD now with a slight economic advantage, but he really needs to be able to crank up his production sometime soon. He's going very heavy into roaches, but unbeknownst to him, Hasu is actually going into double robotics facilities for extra colossi. Oh, what is that? There you go. Gonna go ahead and take down that changeling there, as Stalkers are wandering around. So far, one Zergling off over here, an observer still holding the center. We are going into that double colossi, and double colossi with a lot of sentries, always very dangerous, as those sentries zone out many of those roaches, and without any proper tactical retreat, the colossi can simply slice and dice and turn them inside out. Roaches are currently upgraded 1-0. 2-0 upgrade should be coming in just a moment, as we are seeing a very, very heavy roach count coming in from XLorD. 16 additional roaches now being trained. We are now seeing that 78 to 72. Hasu now with the economic advantage. This is 3 bases to 3, and is XLorD perhaps going to make something happen here as he makes a move down over here on the bottom right hand side of the map. Massive number of gateways. Eventually warp gates will be warping in here. Double robotics facility, training up 1 Colossus at a time right now. Second Colossus could be added, not quite sure. Nope, currently supply blocked and low on resources, as we now see the roaches now simply march their way in. Alright, gateways, photon cannons could all get taken down there. A handful of roaches getting taken down very easily, as 1 photon cannon does get destroyed. Colossi now doing a little bit of a push out. Hasu perhaps needs to consider getting another photon cannon there at the natural expansion. Otherwise, XLorD is simply going to attack with a much larger supply army. 16 roaches now trying to come in on the front door. It looks like they could deal a lot of damage here. That pylon is going to fall. 1 Colossus could get caught in transit. Wow! That 1 Colossus now up on the high ground trying to take down these roaches. The Roaches are going to be able to just scuttle or just shoot up that ramp and now take down this Colossus there. Roaches now in a very, very tight engagement off over here as well. Photon Cannon now trying to recharge those shields as Roaches going after and able to take down a robotics facility just as a Warp Prism pops out. Colossus is about ready to make its way up, but now we see another engagement down over here. Force Field, Stalkers trying to hold off XLorD. Hasu sitting at 146, XLorD sitting at 193, as the Roaches are simply just attack moving their way into this Stalker Sentry line. All the units have been removed from the main base, but now Hasu needs to come over and reinforce at the natural and at the third base, now sitting at 181 over 141. Warp Prism of Hasu may try to make a move now. Is he going to be warping in some units? I do believe so, but not showing anything just quite yet. Roaches and Zerglings both 1-0 upgrade. We can see that the tunneling claws has been researched as well, so those Roaches can be able to regenerate a lot of hit points very easily. Roaches now making a move back over here as well, causing some problems and a split attack, just making it oh so difficult as XLorD has moved out across the map and now going into a doom drop. Alright, this could potentially be huge. Overlords now coming in. They are going to be raining down Zerg in just a moment as the Roaches are burrow move here. Here we go, a massive drop inside the main base. Photon Cannon now coming in. What is going to be happening? Roach or the probes now trying to get away here as it looks like all the Zerglings will be unloaded. Roach is now doing a very strong attack here at the 3 o'clock location. Hasu in a bit of trouble, unable to push back any of these Roaches here as the Roaches now getting dropped off. They are going to get cleaned up here, but not without taking a lot of damage here at this third base. Roaches still trying to push their way in. Are the Roaches going to be able to get in a lot of damage? One Photon Cannon down. Probes now going to be taking a bit of damage as well. Is there an observer in the air as the Roaches are trying to get off some shots onto these units? Roaches are now burrowing straight up underneath these units as the Roaches now pop back up once more. Roaches still engaging this Colossus in the back, 132. This Colossus with now 17 kills, doing a tremendous job trying to shore up any of these losses as the Colossus now reaching a critical number of 4. 4 Colossi, I believe, are able to two-shot many of those Roaches, and that is going to be huge. Being able to get enough critical damage on those Roaches so they are taken out before they can do any true damage. Alright, we are going into level 2 weapons and armor upgrades. Roaches could be coming in with another drop. Void Ray now looking to come in as the Void Ray is going to be trying to charge down and take down some of these Overlords. Overlords taking a bit of damage. The Void Ray could still be here, perhaps taking down some of these Roaches as well, as we see another engagement down over here at the third. Roach is going to finish off many of the probes. Probes not getting taken down. This Nexus will most likely fall as the Void Ray looks to deal a lot of damage and finish up these Roaches. However, the Roaches do move faster than the Void Ray. Void Ray cannot keep up with these units as we see the Roaches have now just swarmed here down at the 3 o'clock location. Not much that Hasu can do. And behind this, XLorD has opted to set up his own 4th base. Hasu now with a little bit of a smaller, actually Hasu still has the larger army overall. Production tab though shows Corruptors, and this is interesting, an 800 difference node. Now we see Zerg just getting a whole bunch of units, and that should tip things in favor. All Hasu can really hope to do now is come back in with an all-in attack. We can see level 3 weapons upgrade now coming online. Stalkers with Blink, level 2 armor upgrades on both the Colossi and the Stalkers. What's going to be happening here? Is there going to be enough damage? Roaches now making their way in over here at the third base again. This one, Roach is going to be burrowed, but it will get taken down very easily. Roaches with 10 hit point regeneration a second can take damage all day from a single Stalker while burrowed and not get destroyed. Alright, Corruptors now making their way in, able to take down one Void Ray there. Stalkers, Colossi, Observers still making rounds, and Hasu needs to figure out a strategy to deal with the sheer mass number of Roaches, the superior numbers that XLorD has. Let's take a look at the overall army compositions. We now see a 2,000 resource difference between these two armies. Things heavily in favor of XLorD, as the Stalkers are now trying to clean up some of these creep tumors. Zerglings now making their way in, backing and blinking away, able to get off a little bit of distance here as the Stalkers are now in a bit of trouble. Will they be able to do very much? Yes, they are going to be able to do a lot, as the rest of the Brethren now arriving to the party to get off some easy shots. Alright, Colossus and Stalkers now engaging. Corruptors are in here as well. More roaches getting taken down. And Hasu picking and choosing his fights very well, not losing nearly as much. XLorD has lost more, but he is still ahead just because of a superior economy. Corruptors now looking to make their way in. Roaches are 2-1. Stalkers are currently sitting at 2-2, soon to be 3-2, and that may be the difference here. 2-1 versus 3-2 upgrades. That's two additional upgrades over the Zerg opponent, and that's for those ranged units, not even counting some of these Zerglings as well. Alright, Roaches now coming in for the Swarm, and will be dropping Roaches off here on the top left hand side of the map. Zerglings now trying to do a quick run by, will be able to do exactly that. One photon cannon needs about 20 more seconds or so to finish. It looks like 5 seconds or so to finish. It is now done, as the Roaches are now going to be dropped off inside the main base again. This is a huge hit. Probes now on the run. Colossi now making their way over. One Immortal fighting off the Swarm, quickly gets taken down. The Stalkers now blinking together, able to take down one, if not two or three of those Corruptors. Both sides still fighting, and still we currently have Roaches inside the base, currently going unchecked. Stalkers trying to engage. Hasu sitting at 176, XLorD sitting at 183. Stalkers are blinking back, and now are they going to be able to take down those Corruptors? The Corruptors are falling. Colossi now finishing off some of the Corruptors now finishing off some of those Roaches, as the Colossi pretty much now all taken down. One is still standing tall. 3-2 upgrades, soon to be 3-3 or 3-3 and 3-3-1, as more Roaches now being used to replenish. All right, Roaches still going unchecked inside the main base, still dealing terrible damage to the main base here. Stalkers now trying to get up there, and it looks like they will arrive just in time to see much of the base already destroyed. Roaches now looking to push in, get down some even more of these Stalkers. Stalkers are falling, and there is the burrow in order to get out. Alright, we are going to have level 3 armor upgrades here in just a moment. Probes now doing some more long distance mining. What is happening here, as XLorD sitting at 189, Hasu sitting at 136. Losses much higher for XLorD, but the economy showing why having strong macro is very effective, as XLorD, even though he has lost more, still has more in this engagement. Alright, it looks as though a whole bunch of Roaches will get taken down here. Are more units going to be coming off over here, as well as the Roaches are now going after this third Nexus. Third Nexus will get taken down in a very short amount of time. Roaches now on the run. Colossi have to be very careful, as the Stalkers now blink their way forward. There's a corruption on that Colossus. Colossus goes down with 26 kills, and I believe that will be it. No real way to deal with the sheer amount of damage and swarm of XLorD's Zerg here, as the probes are trying to act as a little bit of a wall, but the Stalkers are the ones that need to deal the necessary damage and take down Roach after Roach. Another Roach does get taken down here. Are we perhaps going to see an Observer? No, I still do not see an Observer just quite yet, as the Roaches will be able to retreat and return back home. Hasu looking to re-establish up his third base and establish up his fourth base. We are seeing a transition into a mothership now by Hasu, so perhaps a mothership will be the necessary missing ingredient for the victory here. But with the number of Corruptors that XLorD has been shown to create, I do believe that that one mothership could get shot down very quickly. Alright, Warp Prism off over here. Corruptors will catch this Warp Prism out in open field. And is the Warp Prism, yes, able to escape? It does have that movement speed upgrade, and now moving along its merry way. Back over here, Roaches, still caught in on the inside of the base, will get taken down. It looks like this Roach will get destroyed here in just a second. And then perhaps Hasu will be able to start working on his comeback. Looks like the Roach does finally go down here. More probes still doing that walk of shame with that long distance mining. And now we see a huge number of Roaches looking to take down the destructible rocks in the center and close in on the distances. Mothership is nearby. Here you go. All right, Broodlord's unable to really attack this Mothership, as the Mothership does have that cloaking field operational. Now coming back over here, Infestors, Roaches, Broodlords, all sticking very closely together. It looks like this will be the ultimate unit combination for XLorD, as XLorD now moves into what may be his final push here in game 1. XLorD now once again maxed out at 200 supply. Hasu sitting at 108 over 134. Still very much behind the 8 ball and needs to figure out a plan or a strategy to catch his opponent off guard. XLorD still losing some of these creep tumors as the Broodlords are now making a move out. Here comes the attack. We see there is one Mothership here. Stalkers are trying to engage, and now the Mothership is taking a beating. There is a vortex, and more Broodlords are getting sucked in. Stalkers now trying to engage here. It looks as though Hasu just simply doesn't have the numbers. But then again, where are those Corruptors? Without the Corruptors, perhaps enough damage could be dealt, as the Broodlords are now all getting taken down. Broodlords now dropping in Broodlings, and I think that will be it. Yes, Hasu playing a very strong game, unable to hold off XLorD here on Daybreak. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 1. Stay tuned for Game 2.